try to uncover with this book. Are they intentionally disguising themselves? Yeah, definitely. If we are dealing with, say, like, just let's firmly put this in the material world, with maybe a creature that is either prey or predator to people, because humans at this point, we've got to the point where there's no other predators to us on the planet. But what if there is? What if there was a species that actually evolved right alongside us to prey on us? And we don't mean religious prayer. Exactly. In the natural world, you've got, say, like insects who actually will work just like their prey, so they can sit around and wait for an unsuspecting victim to go by. Now, I'm not saying, that these things are necessarily something that preys on us. They may look like us to protect themselves. Now, you mentioned John Keel was one who wrote about them. Any others in history that have kind of discussed this? Well, like I said, if you go and you look at, say, like a fairy lore, I think is really a good example of these things that have interacted with society. Now, when I say fairies, people just automatically go to, like the Tinkerbell type of creatures, something, little and short and glowing with wings flying around. But through most of history, when it comes to people dealing with these types of things, like they've called them fays and leprechauns and the good people. Good people is really, an excellent name to call them. Because they have kind of lived on the outskirts of our society and interact with us when they want to, not when we want to. And they've interacted with us in all kinds of different ways, from actually either buying or stealing food from us to actually having romantic relationships with people. Yeah, well, and that's a silly point, too, because they could be related to us in some way. Because most of the time, interspecies romances just don't work. Do they live among us? Or are they down in some cavern or something like that? Well, maybe a little of both. There's the idea that they could be a race of, say, like a cousin species of humans, of hominids, and albeit a more gentle species. And at some time in our ancient past, that they decided that they're going to get the heck away from us. We're too violent. Mm-hmm. And at first, they lived on the outskirts of society, their cities and villages or what have you. We're out either in the desert or in the mountains. But as people became more, the world became more populous with Homo sapiens, this species said, we got to get out of here, and maybe moved underground or under the ocean. Or some could actually with us and live amongst us. I mean, there are a lot of stories that we've collected in this book of people having sightings of things that appear to be human that don't act like humans. Do these mimics know what they are? Oh, yes. I think they definitely do. Whether or not we're dealing with, material, physical beings, paranormal, extraterrestrial, what have you, these things definitely know that they are different, and they use that difference to their advantage. I think one of the things that has allowed them to exist all this time is their ability to substitute. They are very good at disguising themselves. They're very good at staying hidden you until they want to be seen. Will Tim Schwartz, co-author of the latest book, mimics the others among us? These beings, do they lack a soul? Oh, wow. That's really the $1,000,000 question. Who wouldn't have a soul? Well, let's assume we do. Right. I think that they probably do. I think that whatever they are, again, whether they're physical or interdimensional or what have you, they probably have a soul just like us. Did they come to us in craft, or were they born on this planet? Well, that's one of the things that in this book that we really hope to do is to detangle the others from the whole UFO phenomenon. In modern times, the two have really become intertwined with stories of human-looking extraterrestrials or the blackies, things like that. So I think that, and George, your guess really is as good as mine. I mean, there could be a factor that are strictly extraterrestrial. I'm not going to throw that idea out, but I think that probably at least the major aspect of the phenomenon of the mimic is that this is something that has been on our planet probably as long as we have. And this, of course, book is not a non-fictional novel. I mean, a fictional novel. This is a non-fictional book, isn't it? This is correct, yes. This is non-fiction. And we, myself, on Castile, and as you said in the opening, I mean, we have some really great writers like Dr. Alice and Nigel Watson, people like that. Yeah. Yeah, contribute to this book. With these fascinating stories, again, directly back across time, really long before, say, like the modern UFO era. But I think that the modern UFO era has really helped bring this idea to the forefront. You have highlighted some examples of individuals who have had encounters with these things, one being the late remote viewer Ingo Swann. Ingo Swann, who is very well known for working with the government intelligence services with his remote viewing abilities, he was one time tasked to actually remote view the dark side of the moon, and given very specific latitude and longitude, lunar latitude and longitude. And when he actually started viewing this location, he said that he saw human-looking beings on the surface of the moon without what it appeared to like that they had any kind of protection on them. And the frightening thing to him was that they became aware that he was looking at them. So after this initial encounter, when Ingo was in Los Angeles with a friend and in a supermarket, he came across this, as he described her, an extremely beautiful woman wearing, shorts and a tank top, and just absolutely stunning. And he said that as he got closer, she was looking at the avocados, or interested in the avocados. When he got closer, he was struck with a feeling of terror. That just overwhelmed his senses. And he got the impression, first of all, that this woman was not human. That she looked human, looked like a very beautiful human, but she wasn't. And that if he became aware that he knew that what she was, his life would probably be in danger. Are they working among us? I mean, do they have jobs? Do they have social security cards? that was one of the things that the early contactee movement, starting in the 1950s, with people like George Adamski and Howard Mentor, talked quite a bit about that these beings, space brothers, as they called them, looked so human that they actually managed to infiltrate our society, living amongst us, working with us for whatever reason. Now, of course, the contact society. And I think that various governments really took this to heart, that we were being infiltrated. And of course, this idea of the 1950s, I mean, it fit right in with the Cold War mentality that was going on at the time. You know, I mean, not only were governments afraid, the communists, were hiding them everywhere. Yeah. We were so paranoid about it, too. Right. So, I mean, they worried about the Soviet Union infiltrating us. What about a superior race of extraterrestrials that could be living, amongst us? That was a big worry. What did you find in your research with the book, Tim, that was so profound? It has you shaking your head. Well, I think the most profound thing about all of this book is just really how pervasive this whole phenomenon is. That that we have sharing the planet with us another intelligence, right? That we're not alone. Not only are we not alone probably in the universe, but that we share this planet with another possibly superior intelligence that's been with us this entire time, that has been possibly manipulating society through religion, culture, other types of things. And that our history is probably just as much part of their history as well. What does Sean feel about that? Well, Sean, and Sean and the other authors, I mean, when I first presented this idea to them, looking for contributions, everybody was like, this is such a fantastic idea. That, everybody was just so excited to go through their own notes and pull out all of these separate, encounters that for the longest time really had just been out there, just one page here, one page there. And I think we're one of the first to actually bring them all together into kind of a almost like a unified field theory of other beings, in this reality. They walk among us. They live among us. Are they dangerous, Tim? They can be, yes. Yes. Let's talk about that when we come back. In a moment, Tim Short's with us. His book is called Mimic, The Others Among Us, which just came out just several days ago. And it's available on Amazon, and we'll check in with Tim to see if it's in bookstores as well. But we'll be back with more on Coast to Coast AM. Coast Insiders, the new version of the Coast to Coast AM app, is now available for iPhone and now Android 4.0 and above. Listen live or on demand anywhere, anytime. Go to coasttocoastam.com and download it today. On the hand. when it breaks.
I'm Bree Tennis in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. President Biden spoke with survivors of the Monterey Park shooting yesterday.
This executive order helps keep firearms out of dangerous hands. As I continue to call on Congress to require background checks for all firearms sales.
A 24-year-old man fleeing from police crashed his car into the historic Plaza Park fountain in Orange. The crash was caught on camera. The driver lost control of his vehicle, flipped several times. Police say they found a ghost gun and a high-capacity magazine in his vehicle. The AIDS Healthcare Foundation is turning the historic Insurance Exchange building in downtown LA into homeless and low-income housing. After renovations, the new residence will be called Angel Tower and will offer 251 living spaces. Southline weather from KFI. Rain continues heavy at times. Should leave us by late afternoon. Highs around 60. Right now it's 57 at Los Alamitos. Brea has 58. 56 for North Hollywood and 55 in Simi Valley. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Bree Tennis.
This is on 5 southbound at Garfield Avenue. Cleanup crews from an earlier crash picking up the two bike lanes. Watch for lanes that will approach this area. Culver City, we have 15. Earlier crash that was on the floor. 5 southbound at National Boulevard has been cleared for lanes. Your drive is covering in that area. Near Loma, this is on the 16 westbound, right before the 15. Little fender bender there, taking up the left lane. Watch for the lane. KFI, the guy hopes to get there faster. I'm right there. Water softeners add sodium to your water without even filtering it. Here is something better. A life source salt-free water system. Life source filters water from every tap and keeps all the healthy minerals without maintenance, salt, or services. And right now, new customers can get a free Aquapure antibacterial filter with a qualifying purchase at savings of $825. But the offer ends soon, so call Life Source at 800-803-2696 or go to lifesourcewater.com.
The podcast Let's Start a Coup wonders, what if a secret cabal of the nation's most powerful people tries to overthrow the president? Explore how it almost happened to FDR in the 1930s in this darker comedic retelling of one of American history's weirdest scenes.
And for you, Major General, nothing but nothing.
We have our radio app or wherever you get your podcast.
And thinking about going solar, then listen up. Time is running out to secure the best possible solar reimbursement with the state of California. Last year, the state and your utility company got together and changed the way new solar systems get reimbursed for the power they produce. And as you can guess, it's not as good for you and me. In fact, it's about 75% less than the old system. The good news is there is a grandfathering period, and you can still permanently lock in those amazing rates. But time is running out. The deadline to have your solar documents filed is April 14th. So how do you do that? You start by calling Sunlux, and you call them today. Sunlux will walk you through how to lock in the current rate. Even if you're not ready to install the system, it's okay. Call Sunlux and get your documents filed. There is no time to waste to lock in the best returns on solar power that you will ever see. Start today at sunlux.com. Sunlux.com. CSLB 100837 KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. KFI live and everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. KFI AM 640. Today. Sign up today at coasttocoastam.com. No fingers in my hand. That's why I never stand. That's with my conscience band. It's with pride. And I've got no defense for it. Running against no defense for it. What good would common sense for it do? Cause it's witchcraft, wicked witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, It's such an temptation, but one I wouldn't take. God has no lighter wish than you. You're listening to Coast AM with George Norrie. We'll take your calls next hour with Tim Schwartz as we talk about his latest work, Mimics the Others Among Us, as they walk among us, whoever they may be, as they're ready to be part of the coalition. ParanormalDate.com, 156,000 members. We're 186 people shy of that, and we're going to hit that number really soon. Boy, people just keep signing up, and for good reason. So we have ParanormalDate.com. Now, that's for everybody. Suppose you're looking for somebody a bit more mature, say 60 plus. Well, we got you covered there, too. ParanormalDate.com/seniors is just for that. People that think like you and they're 60 plus. So check them out, both. ParanormalDate.com and ParanormalDate.com/seniors. At ParanormalDate.com, you meet the most fantastic paranormal experiences. How's that? Well, I'm into UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, and the paranormal. It's that kind of stuff. But you see the flying one? Oh, well, no, Mr. Tom, I gotta go. Okay. Guess that's not your cup of tea. You sure? Yeah, see what was that? Anyway, I hope you can find a website for my unique interest. What is one of you? Have you thought about ParanormalDate.com? So, what's that? What? Well, who are you? I'm a paranormal matchmaker, and it's ParanormalDate.com. It's a website for people looking for people like them. Stuff you like, remember? Yes. I'll give it a try. Well, let's try this again. Hi, I'm Tom. Hey, I'm Deb. Your profile on ParanormalDate.com looks very interesting. So you really saw a UFO? Well, yeah. It was so intense. But not as intense as me and you. You're an alien chasing flirt, but I kind of like it. Wow, this ParanormalDate.com thing really works. Maybe ParanormalDate.com is for you. People with an interest in things they hear on George's show find their match daily. So if you're looking for that special someone with an interest in UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, and of course, the paranormal, come to the dating site inspired by George Norrie. It's always free to search, and if you decide to upgrade to our amazing new features, use promo code George for a great discount. ParanormalDate.com. You are not alone. And have you ever wondered if we are alone in the universe? Marvelous Entertainment has released the newest in science fiction that specifically deals with this question. The Marvin Sunderman, the certified film director, guest on Coast to Coast, video game developer, and author behind these series of novels that include a 7-novel masterpiece, bringing out the best of your imagination. If we journey with Sergeant Waggett, star of his books, who's searching for a crashed alien spaceship that ends up finding out there's an alien invasion underway. Brace yourself as there's a roar in the underworld. Fight with Sergeant Waggett, but he's trying to take our imagination to new heights. Marvelous. Get 20% off the entire 7-novel series. Another series on the way with all future graphic novels by entering coupon code Coast to Coast, all lowercase, at marvelous.com. That's MARVALEOUS, marvelous.com. Real people, real stories. I am acute eczema. I have tried every cream and ointment that you can imagine to treat everything. So I started taking Avora, and at this point, I don't want to ever be without it. My old dog developed this lymph problem. The chemotherapy lasted for 6 months. He started developing more lymph nodes that were swelled out. So I thought I'd just try carnivore. The lymph nodes started to go down, swelling dead. Then I took him into the vet to get him checked out, and there was no signs at all inside. My dad had issues that developed in his eyes from my finger, and he said, you know what, just go ahead and remove the eye. I heard the carnivore advertising, so I said, you know what, I'm going to order this product. So I did all the tests. I kid you not, this product saved his eye. Call 866-836-8735. That's 866-836-8735. So visit carnivore.com. That's CARNIVORA.com. And welcome back to Coast. George Joy with you. Tim Schwartz with us. We'll take calls with Tim next hour, so get ready for that. Tim, the book's available on Amazon. How about bookstores? Yes, we're also making it available for your favorite local bookstore. And I always encourage everyone to patronize your favorite local bookstore. What about the theory that some of these so-called mimics could be time travelers? I love that idea. And I've talked about that on this show before, involving the UFO phenomenon that we're being visited by, people from the future. Is that they have this ability to predict the future, or maybe they know the future. They're not predicting it. They're just telling people what's actually going to happen. But you'll find this throughout all of these different kinds of stories, going back again to, say, like the good people who would, interact with villagers and tell their fortunes, tell their future, to modern UFO era, when you've got these human-looking guys coming out of flying saucers and telling the people that they just happened to run across, well, next year you're going to move from your house and live someplace else, or, your Uncle Ray is going to be killed in a car accident next month. So it's there's a possibility that whatever it is that we've been interacting with may be able to exist outside of time and space. That they're natural, but somewhere outside of it. You discussed the possibility of Bigfoot. Even though Bigfoot doesn't look like us, what do you think? Yeah, well, I included this several sections in the book about Bigfoot and other types of hairy hominids, looking at the idea that we may not be the only existing on the planet. And I bring up the Hobbit creatures that discovered the bones on the island of Florida. And there was just very recently a retired anthropologist who had spent a number of years. His name was Gregory Ford. He spent a number of years living on that island and studying the people who lived there. And this was before the discovery of the Hobbit bones. And he was told about the other people that lived on the island. And they were called, I'm going to try to pronounce the name, but it roughly translated as the grandmother who eats everything. And they said that these were like little people covered in hair that lived in the forest and on the mountains. There weren't as many of them left anymore, but that they were human, but just smaller and hairier. And then, later after he moved back to the United States, here all of this came out about these definitive bones that were found on the island that could have been and I think now they're saying that it is a separate human species. And he started putting two together, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Maybe these are the same kind of creatures. Maybe they didn't go extinct. And that there's, still a remnant population living on this island. So, we take this idea and run with it, with mimics. So, if you have an archaic species of humans, 50 cousins, so to speak, that could still be alive on this planet, then there's not much difference, I think, in entertaining the idea that there are other remnant species of humans, maybe one that's a lot closer to us, to the point that they're almost indistinguishable. except for probably just some minor, genetic or DNA differences, but close enough to Homo sapiens that we could interbreed with them.
What is your gut tell? What these are?
Well,
and while you're pondering it, you could have David Weber.
Oh, yes.
He's written books on what he calls the black-eyed kids.
Yes.
Black-eyed children who come to your door, they want in, and all that stuff. So is it possible that those black-eyed kids are part of these limits?
Oh, definitely. And we've got Sean Castillo actually wrote a chapter looking into this idea. And, I mean, the black-eyed kid is really, along with, say, like Slender Man and the Men in Black of UFO lore, I mean, these are perfect examples of the others. That these things that look human, act human, but aren't.
So you were contemplating what you think is going on.
Well, I mean, I definitely think that that we're not alone on the planet. That there's other intelligence. Now, what they are, I kind of think that maybe it could be all of the above. We could have like a remnant human species, and I think that there could be a paranormal aspect to it as well. And I'm not going to completely throw out the baby with bathwater when it comes to extraterrestrials. I mean, I think that could be a possibility too, which I think is one of the reasons that this phenomenon has confounded so many researchers over the years, because everybody keeps looking for one definitive explanation, and I think that there are probably a number of explanations that they all kind of, superficially resemble each other, but that, each one that we have discussed in our book could be just as likely as the other.
Does it puzzle you that the reports of these beings are so closely related to us?
And this is something that I discussed quite a bit in the book, is that why do these things, if they are another intelligence, why do they look so human? Why do they act human? Right? Are we anthropomorphizing?
And what do they want?
Right, exactly. Are we seeing them as human because we accept these things to be human? That possibly that they're shapeshifters and able to take on forms that are easily identifiable to us, which I think is a very good possible scenario, because I think it's highly unlikely that if we're dealing with an extraterrestrial race, that they would be so human looking. You think about evolution across the universe, what are the chances that another intelligent race from another planet would end up looking almost exactly like us? And as some UFO researchers say, have the ability to breed with them. So more than likely, we are dealing with something, for the most part, that is just as much part of this planet as we are.
Well, we don't know what they want, do we?
I suppose.
Or maybe they just want to live peacefully among us.
Exactly. They want to live their lives, and they do seem to enjoy manipulating people, though. But that could be very much a self-defense.
Have there ever been reports, Tim, that these creatures have physically hurt humans?
Oh, yes. Oh, sure. Well, again, going back to some of the mythologies and lore of the beginnings to history, say, like, you have the Japanese fox spirits, the Kikumi, that they could assume a point that they would actually find a lover and have children, get married, but then at the end up destroying their chosen person's life by either just picking up everything afterwards and leaving them alone in the dust to causing misfortune throughout their life. We have Paul Dino wrote a really wonderful chapter in this book about his theory of the parasites, he calls them. And he speculates, what these things are, whether or not they could possibly be other beings from the multiverse. Parasites is not a good word, that's for sure. No, and that is one of the aspects of the other phenomena is that they tend to be attracted to people who are having problems. And they seem to enjoy that. Yes. I'll speculate that these things actually feed off of negative emotion. And in order to do this, they will come into a house and create poltergeist type activity, hauntings, the appearance of what looks like strange people in your house, things like that, all in order to elicit bad emotions, which they find nourishing. Interesting take on all of this. What about the Men in Black? That has come up too in your work. The Men in Black, once again, this is an excellent example of the other. Now, this is really a modern phenomenon where they become associated with UFOs. And of course, the legend of the Men in Black is that, say somebody is either getting too close to investigating UFOs, too close to the truth, or even just had a rather mundane sighting, that these things will suddenly appear at your door and threaten you not to talk. Now, we have like two groups of Men in Black. One group appears to be perfectly human people, government agents, intelligence agents, that actually for whatever reason are trying to keep people away from discussing the UFO phenomena. But then we have this group that almost seems to be paranormal. They have very distinguishing physical characteristics. A lot of times they're described as being tall, very pale skin, with mannerisms that some people have described as being robotic or like a zombie. And we hear that one quite a bit, like a zombie. In fact, one person who had an encounter with a woman in black said that they felt like that this woman was dead, that she was not alive and was being animated. Zombie? Like a zombie, yes. But they felt like that she was being animated by something else. So, I mean, it's just, and we've seen that in a number of different cases with the Men in Black. And there's not really a rhyme or reason at times for their appearance. There was this person who was, and his name escapes me at the moment, George, my apologies, but he was writing his thesis in a library at the University of Philadelphia when, and it was about folklore, and he was just getting to a part where he was talking about UFOs and modern folklore. When this guy suddenly appeared, he was described as being tall, dressed entirely in black, black slicked back hair, and with very pale skin to the point where he said it looked like this guy had ever been out in the sun. And this person came and he said that he sat down in the chair next to him and asked what he was working on. And he just, he told this guy what it was, and he said, well, what do you think about flying saucers? He goes, well, it's just called part of my thesis, but I haven't really thought that much about it. And this guy that got up in his chair, and he said he got up looking, and it looked like that he was a marionette on a string. When he got up in his chair. And he screamed at him and said, flying saucers are the most important things in history. Really upset. I'm very upset. And then the odd thing about it was, after this guy left, the person who was writing the thesis realized that he was all alone in this library. And there's nobody else around. He went to the front desk. California Department of Public Health. How much do you think your home is worth this year? Do you think it's going to be worth the same next year? If you're thinking about borrowing on your home equity, your odds of getting more out of your home is probably higher now than it will be next year. I certainly believe that. Some experts predict that property values might decline over the next few years, making it more challenging for borrowers to tap into that home equity. If you need $75,000 or more, HMS Capital can help you borrow the money you need with the equity you've built. So whether you want to consolidate debt, make home improvements, or whatever your situation may be, HMS Capital may have the best solution to help you. No appraisal, credit report fees to apply. I've done 2 mortgages with HMS Capital. Clearly, I'm a fan. I believe they are simply the best at what they do. Call 833-255-5698, 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com. Live in the Hills Bedrooms, another essential night room. The curious Ron Stevens is struggling with his feedback. His wife is down tight and he's waiting for the couch. He could get inspired. Absolutely, Bruce. Inspires a sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. There's no mask and no host, guys. You want to learn more at InspiredSleep.com. Inspired is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspiredSleep.com. Motivation, pharmacy grade, stimulating coffee. Evacuation orders continue. I'm Bree Tennis in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Several communities in Ventura and Santa Barbara counties are still under evacuation warnings as we are hit with our 11th atmospheric river. Daniel Martindale has more. The residents between Northeast Piru and Lake Piru are dealing with an evacuation warning through 10 o'clock Thursday morning. In Santa Barbara County, residents living near the Aliso and Cape Fire burn scars are urged to prepare to leave at any moment if an evacuation order is called for. President Biden is taking action to curb gun violence as he met with survivors of a recent mass shooting in Monterey Park. This executive order helps keep firearms out of dangerous hands. As I continue to call on Congress to require background checks for all firearms sales. Back in January, 11 people were shot and killed in Monterey Park in a predominantly Asian American community after a Lunar New Year festival. The Orange County Board of Supervisors has declared a local state of emergency. The county's dealing with mudslides, hillside slippage, and flooding. The declaration will release funds to help with cleanup. A sex offender parolee has been arrested for the alleged sexual assault of a woman inside a McDonald's bathroom in Riverside. 40-year-old Terrell Adams parole for charges of kidnapping with intent to commit rape. He entered the women's bathroom, sexually assaulted a female victim. He screamed, he ran, and he was chased into the parking lot and held
by customers until police arrived. One person in the hospital after a train slammed into a vehicle in Burbank yesterday. Police say the collision caused the vehicle to fly off the tracks and overturn. No one on board the train was hurt. All trains were delayed but are back on schedule now. Inland Empire's first Shake Shack is now open at Victoria's Gardens. The New York-based restaurant specializes in burgers, milkshakes, and frozen custards. And Russia says the U.S. drone that was downed earlier this week was not their fault. Skyline weather from KFI. Rain continues heavy at times. Could leave us by afternoon. Highs in 60. I know 58 like Florida. Home at 57. 56 for Malibu and 55 in Loma Linda. We leave local from KFI. 24-hour newsroom. I'm Bree Kennedy.
This one we get left down that there was a little fender bender there. Let's pick it up the carpool lane. Your drive is bunching up to approach this area. And in Tustin, this is on the 5 northbound right after Newport. The crash there, out of lanes and in the center divider. You're seeing delays in that stretch. Riverside, this is on the 250 northbound at MLK. We had a crash involving a semi. That's taking up the 2 left lanes. Watch for delays. Hey, if I had the sky hope to there fast enough or anything. One of the American most popular news channels is Newsmax. Many people watch Newsmax for news and perspective. You're not going to hear from other networks. Why Newsmax can discover why the left trying to silence their voice. For good reason, it's becoming one of the most popular channels in America. Tuning in every night for Great Man Substring, Rock Stick, Eric Bowen, Greg Kelly, and much more. No surprise, Newsmax is only the 4th highest rated cable news channel and growing fast. You can get Newsmax on most cable systems. Check the channels out. Now, if they don't carry Newsmax, just switch to one that does. And remember, Newsmax is also free on streaming. Just go to Samsung Plus, Roku, Vimo, Pluto, Vimeo, Apple, and more to tune in. You can even download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone and start watching now. Millions are making the switch to Newsmax. We watch Newsmax because Newsmax is real news for real people. Oh, the times are waiting on safe Saturday. Now the top reasons to visit Orlando.
St. Patrick's Day Freezing. Get 3 plus rated pieces March 17th.
Number 2.
Get Coast to Coast over you earn 500 points on the World Cup. The 20th to 21st.
And the number 1 reason.
We work hard for you. That's why LA Times readers voted out the best casino in the Southland.
Orlando, check time on IQ's Daily Game Podcast. The cultural icon unveils words of wisdom and motivational quotes we've collected over the years. No punches are pulled, as Ice has this special brand of profound and you still gotta play that game. Faith and your mind is just not gonna make it happen. Listen to IQ's Daily Game on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast. If you've been in a truck accident, call 844-24. And Jordan came back again. And she said, my boyfriend listens to you all the time. I said, let's go. What's the thing? She was it's my ex-boyfriend. Whenever we got in the car at night, he wanted to listen to you. And I wanted to talk. And I got pissed. Oh, whoa! I woke him up. The Tim Conway Jr. Show. Well, now this is bingo Monday morning. Live 4 to 7 p.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
I've heard stories of people that go to like senior care retirement villages and they bang around there. First of all, my grandma had a boyfriend. His name was Howard in her 70s. Howard was shady as by the way. When you're in your 70s and it's just a boyfriend or girlfriend, you put them on it really is or you're just like, I don't want to bother.
Live 9 to 1 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. My grandfather convinced me to always have a goal. Because I'm one of those paranoid idiots. If there's an earthquake, we gotta get out of LA. And I don't want to be the cable who stops up the side of the road, telling my wife and my daughter, like, yeah, I was gonna be there for Tim Conway Jr. Show. I went and got tacos instead. They're really good. Live 4 to 7 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. This is Jacob Emron. You've been involved in a motorcycle accident, call 844-24 KFI, AM 640.